Now, joining me every Thursday is the sharp as a whip UK political commentator and GB News presenter, Calvin Robinson. Calvin, let's start in Canada. The PM there, Justin Trudeau, continues to lie and gaslight by declaring now that his government will stand against tyranny and defend democracy.
Canada and our allies will defend democracy. We are taking these actions today to stand against authoritarianism. The people of Ukraine, like all people, must be free to determine their own future. We will continue working with our international partners to safeguard Ukraine's territorial integrity and prevent further Russian aggression.
Calvin, it's a little bit rich to talk about determining their own future and people should be free to decide. When Trudeau, it was just a few days ago, was utilising emergency powers against his own people, even freezing people's bank accounts for donating to the truckers. No court orders, just going through and absolutely devastating this protest with threats and intimidation. I just can't believe you can stand there with a straight face and make these sort of statements.
Rita, it's absolutely outrageous for Justin Trudeau, to stand there and say that Canada will defend democracy and stand against authoritarianism. I would actually argue that Canada is more authoritarian than Russia right now, because these emergency powers that they implemented are war powers. They took war out on their citizens. They froze the bank accounts of people that just merely donated $10 to the cause of freedom. And they clamped down on the freedom protesters themselves. That is not something that a freedom-loving democracy does. That is something a tyrannous, authoritarian, draconian government does. But what's even worse than the gaslighting of Justin Trudeau is that the West aren't standing up to this. We're not condemning the behaviour of Canada. We're condemning Russia straight away because Russia's in the East. And if an Eastern country is tyrannous or authoritarian, of course we'll step up to them. But what about our allies, our strongest allies, our Commonwealth allies in Canada? If we don't stand for democracy on a universal scale, we don't stand for it at all. And that's the problem that I think we're facing right now.
Now, to matters closer to you, there's an inquiry into BBC funding, but there seems to be a bit of a problem with the panel. Have a look at some of their declared interests.
My interest is that I was an employee of the BBC between 2001 and 2010, therefore a member of their pension scheme.
I'm on the board of Tate with Tim Davies, Director General of the BBC. I appear as a regular panellist on BBC Context, for which I'm remunerated.
I broadcast occasionally for the BBC, for which I receive payment.
I was a governor of the BBC. I occasionally make programmes for and appear on programmes on radio and television.
I have worked with the BBC with their religion department for 30 years.
I've been an employee of the BBC, ending up as Director General of the BBC, so 2 bursts of employment, and I have a BBC pension.
Calvin, can we expect a thorough and impartial inquiry when the majority of the panel have some sort of BBC affiliation?
It's hilarious, isn't it? This Lord's inquiry into the BBC funding. Pretty much everyone on that panel, when they declared their interests, is either on the books of the BBC or somehow invested in the BBC. I think that is beyond the scope of bias. And this is why I've been campaigning for so long to defund the BBC, because I argue that it is too biased. And this is a farce, isn't it? They're taking us for mugs. Lord Hall, the previous Director General of the BBC, is the one who's running this panel. He should have recused himself from the situation. I think today's theme seems to be gaslighting. First we've got Justin Trudeau, and now we've got the BBC gaslighting the public.
And talking about the BBC, they've got another woke programming idea, a new show that you've dubbed Black Big Brother. Tell me why you believe this program is promoting race-obsessed grievance mongering. Looks interesting to me. I love a bit of a reality television.
Well, they got in touch with me about a year ago about this and asked me if I'd be on it, and I opted out because they said what we want to do is have debates with black people from different political persuasions and have them in a house and film the interactions. I could see straight away what they were on about, but I did engage with the production team and I kept an eye out on what they were doing, and I actually went up while they were filming, and what I saw was they're getting a load of black people in a room, sparking a really intense debate and leaving them to it. And what they want is loads of angry black people bickering amongst each other, and there's no structure to the debate. There's no chair of the debate, and there's no theme to it. It's just letting people argue it out, and I think that's really, really disingenuous of the BBC to do. But also, this whole "we are black and British." No, we're just British. If you're adding your skin color to the title of the show, you're causing division right there. Let's be proud to be British. Let's be proud of the things that unite us, and let's not focus on the things that divide us, such as our immutable characteristics. So shame on the BBC and shame on mainstream media for keep stoking the racial tension amongst people where it isn't really there to begin with.
And I bet the Conservative will be outnumbered, just like when we have these sort of programs here, whether it's Q&A or The Drum, they often have a token Conservative, and then you have, 4 or 5 lefties who monster them throughout the debate.